good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. What powerful stories and some great initiatives out there being worked. And I would tell you that, first of all, thank you all for taking the time to come in and respond to the whistle, to the call for action. That's a good thing. And I want to give particular thanks to the governor for understanding, and you can't solve a problem that you don't recognize, analyze, and come up with a plan to deal with it. And he realizes that there's an issue. We all do. Everybody in this room does. And at the end of the day, it's about understanding the magnitude of the problem and developing the plan to address it. And so that's what we're all about. It's lining up the resources that are out there, and they are numerous, and that's part of the problem with the requirements. And it's not a one-shoe-fits-all. Every veteran's not have the same kind of issues. They don't have the same kind of skill sets. So we got to work through all that. This is a work in progress. And I will tell you that in the, I don't know how many months I've been doing this, 16, 17 months, I think we've made some great progress. And it's been through the hard work by a lot of you sitting in this room today. And we appreciate that. Obviously, more work to do. And that's the charge that I think we all collectively had. But I want to share with you, I want to take a minute and talk to you about the great team that I have the honor of serving with, the Michigan National Guard. And Julie mentioned we have about 1,200 Guardsmen, Air, and Army deployed today. And of that great team deployed in Afghanistan and in Kuwait, roughly 30 to 40% of some of those units are facing unemployment problems. And I just recently returned from a visit downrange a week and a half ago, and I will tell you that the pledge that I made to those soldiers and to those unit commanders was, you focus on your mission, and I will take back, and we're going to work this jobs piece for you. And you know, it's not what you say, it's what you do. So we are out and attacking the problem by collecting data, relevant information about each individual soldier and airman in terms of what their skill sets are, wants, needs, and desires. We have tools out there that translate the skill sets that they have learned in the military above and beyond just the general leadership skills and all the professionalism, the physical fitness, the can-do attitude, the loyalty, the dependability that comes along with any member you get with the uniformed military. But we're trying to get very specific data so we can start working the eaches. And that's the way I look at this. It's each soldier, airman, Marine, Navy, Coast Guardsman. Each one of those people is an individual effort, is an individual fight. We've got to develop the processes, though, to make this whole system, and we've got to develop a system where things are more user-friendly so that the interaction between the business community, universities, different agencies, and veterans and my team is more user-friendly, so you can kind of get there from here. And it is a complex problem, but we are working on it. I can trust you, we're working on it every day. I can tell you we are looking just from a state of Michigan perspective of the 17 different directorates. 15 of those directorates touch Veterans Affairs in some form or fashion. Not so much, it's somewhat stovepiped, so we're working towards a more collaborative endeavor. We have launched on that, making great progress, and that's just the beginning. That is just the beginning. But besides all the veterans issues that we're dealing with, I want to tell you, my primary mission is to provide trained, equipped, and ready soldiers and airmen to meet both domestic requirements of the governor, and we're doing it right now up in Luce County, up in the Duck Lake fire. We've got 4 UH-60s supporting the fire, all the way to the war fight. And I tell you, the commitment and dedication by our citizen soldiers, 375 years of history, the second largest component of the United States military is the National Guard, and we've got the longest history in the nation. So it's a very proud, robust, capable organization. And just another couple points on the veteran side. I want you to understand we've got a veterans population group of about 700,000, 720, 730, depending on who numbers you believe, and it's, I'm getting an interesting lesson on that when you start looking at data, what's out there, and I'm going, wait a minute, you know, you got to do, you just got to pick a number and run with it. But it's a significant population group, and the preponderance of our veteran population is actually the Vietnam-era veterans. And we were just talking before in the green room before we came out that we're doing a pretty good job with our contemporary veterans, at least collecting data, getting them into the veterans system. Not so much with the Vietnam-era veterans and the Korean War veterans. And so we've got to work that. And it's not that easy because a lot of those folks aren't necessarily tied to a computer, so you can't lean on those kinds of systems. So we've taken that on and making great progress. So I would just say that, as I mentioned before, this is not a one-shoe-fits-all solution to the multitude of problems and opportunities that are out there. And from a business perspective, and I can tell you, I was 40 years in the oil and gas industry in the civilian side. I understand risk. I understand about making a buck, making a payroll. I got it. And I would tell you it's about good people. And successful organizations surround themselves with good people. And I can tell you the best candidates you're going to find are our veterans and the service members serving in all reserve components today that are out there and available to your organizations.